I'm going to keep saying this with my whole chest because some people are not deep thinkers. I understand that you're not a critical thinker. This is not for you. It's just not for you. Scroll up. So, my point today is, well, not today, but at this moment, like, why does Black joy bother some white people? And some other groups, but majority is white people. And not all of you. You know what I'm talking about. You ever notice how the group of Black folks, like, they come together laughing, dancing, and just vibing, and suddenly it's labeled as too loud, too ghetto, or too much? Jealousy. Jealousy. You know why? Because they couldn't strip that away. And it's surviving. But let's be real. It's not about the volume that's the problem. It's the vibrations. It's the freedom. It's the fact that we can still find joy after centuries of trying to be stripped of who we are. We still make something out of nothing. You understand? See, Black joy is like disruptive in certain people. It challenges. And where we're supposed to be broken and angry and silent, it's like loving, living, and celebrating. So it's not just confusion. It's threatening to a certain group of people. Because Black joy, for us, is power, is resistance, it's healing, it's ancestral. Of all the things they said we could not do, it's lies. Remember, we were here way before other groups were here. And now our happiness is not a performance. It's reclaiming who we said we always were. So the next time somebody looks uncomfortable with your Black joy, remember that you're not the problem. They're just uncomfortable and can't believe that after all this time, we are still celebrating who we are and who we are meant to be and who we are growing to be. So tell me, have you ever felt like your joy made somebody else uncomfortable? Let's talk about it, y'all. To me, I don't give a flying fuck who feels uncomfortable. This is my life, my body, and if you feel uncomfortable, move the fuck away. Right? Because where I was for Black Bike Weekend, we were on the side, I'm not gonna say the grown folk side, but we like our peace. So of course, it was a mix of Black and white people. Like, we all around each other. We all talking to each other. You think anybody grabbed their purse because they see bikers in leather? No, they're used to it. They're talking, they're waving, they're like, oh, let me tell me about your bike, blah, 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 blah. These are people talking, not afraid and not jealous. There are some, but we didn't cross any this weekend, okay? But have y'all ever experienced that? Like, you having joy, you having celebration, especially with all the graduates. Did you see those comments talking about Black fatigue in the comments of Black joy celebrating the college? See, the point that I'm trying to get at is no one who doesn't, how can I say this? If you Black, you understand. It comes naturally, and it doesn't matter what state you from. We all have a common denominator of celebrating our Blackness, and people can't stand that. People can't stand that. And I'm not just talking about in America. If we go somewhere else, Black joy is celebrated different ways, but we still have that common denominator of celebrating of what we achieve regardless of the fact. Okay, I'm gonna get off my soapbox. Anyway, happy Tuesday.
I think white people are so triggered by Black joy because they have zero control over it. And white people are all about control. And anything they don't get to control and manage and dictate freaks them the hell out.
They don't get to be the leader.
I found why white men don't like us.
There's only ugly guys, so what can you do?
There are ugly dudes everywhere?
I would say, honestly, I've seen a couple guys that were cute, but the one had a girlfriend, it looked like.
Yeah. So. One, what's your go-to type of guy? What are you looking for?
Hopefully black.
Very muscly.
Be above 6 foot, be dark skin.
Girls are some like BBC lovers, right?
I mean, I guess.
All the dudes are ugly, and then she says she's into black dudes. Black dudes are the ugliest dudes. No offense. For black people on this one, you can have her, I guess. Go make some science experiment babies with these retarded white women.
Hey, I'm gonna tell you right now, we don't want her. You can keep her, in fact. I must say, don't get mad at us, cause your women see how crazy y'all are. See the statistics y'all uphold with children, women, rape, all those things. And then they try to choose a man who's kind. Don't get mad at black people, black men specifically. Just understand your role. Maybe be kinder, and maybe they'll want to actually have your babies. But black men, we don't really want your women. So, don't make this the reason why you start to kirk out. No pun intended.
I don't think think white people experience nearly as much joy as black people do. And I don't believe that the joy they experience is nearly as palpable, as beautiful, and as profound as black joy. And I think that that is one of the main reasons why they can't stand our asses. It's because despite them setting up society to benefit them the most, they're still miserable. And despite them setting up society to benefit us the least, we still find more joy than they do. And they can't stand it at all. I have been in rooms with the whites celebrating, and their joy is cute, but it's not warm. Compared to us when we are in rooms together celebrating, that room is warm. You can feel the joy in the room with us. And I think they can feel it too, and it pisses them off. They have spent generations after generations trying to beat the joy out of us, and our joy is indestructible. They have spent generations trying to put chains, literally and figuratively, on us to break our joy. And we turn those chains into musical instruments every time. And I think that they can't stand it.
White people being mad at black children dancing at graduation is linked to slavery. Because once upon a time, there was no black joy that was allowed. Like, especially back in slavery, like if they saw that, they would probably do horrible things, torture the slaves. And so there was none of that joy allowed. But now today, obviously, black children are allowed to express that kind of joy. But I think internally it makes some white people, uncomfortable, because in their DNA, that shit wasn't allowed to happen. Like, the slave owners weren't allowing the black people to, gather and celebrate and dance and have fun, when slavery was happening. But I'm just like, bitch, that has to be linked to slavery. Like, you can't be mad at children celebrating graduation and dancing for real. Like, it's not just that's irritating you. It's something within that DNA that's irritating you and making you mad at black joy. And it's because there was a time where it wasn't allowed to be. And so racist people literally get uncomfortable when they see black people having joy, because there was a time where their ancestors weren't allowing black people to have joy at all. And it makes them uncomfortable, I feel like, because it's like, y'all don't really got shit over there. And y'all see that we have all this shit over here together as a community, black people. And I feel like that just rubs y'all the wrong way. But clearly, that's linked to slavery to me. Like, what?
They can't stand to see people getting their value from within. Like, you know how many white people have asked why are like, they've literally, I've seen it in the comments, I've seen it in videos of white people saying, black people, like, how do you get your joy? Like, how are you so happy? Like, why? Like, we know that we've oppressed you for all this time. How do you still stand up and smile and dance? Like, they want us, and that's not to say that they want us to, well, some of them certainly want us to, like, not be happy. But even the ones who do not actively try to make sure we're not happy, they feel like we should be unhappy. And so they ask, why are you so happy? And that's because they themselves have been trained and brought up to think that their happiness comes from external validation. Y'all, that is what it is, because white culture, white American culture is very consumerist. It is very, you get your value from having the biggest house. You get your value from having the hottest husband and the prettiest woman. You get your value from having the most, the highest paying job. You get your value from having the highest net worth. That is literally how a lot of white Americans define their value, is if I have this external indicator that everyone else can see that says I am worthy. The higher that number on the stock ticker for them, that is the higher their value. And and when that is where your value comes from, you will always look at people who are poor or people who have no money and be like, why are you smiling? And it's just like, because my value does not come from some artificial number on a board that someone else made up. Like, what? That is crazy. But another thing is, when you have the mentality of my value comes from things outside of me, you have the mentality that everyone else has that same mentality. And so you like you like so then it becomes a whole lot of projection. It becomes a whole lot of projection of like, I would be insecure if I were in your place, so why aren't you insecure? Like, it's just like, so the projection starts, and it's like, and that makes them mad as well, because they just expect you to think like them, and it's like, absolutely not. Hustle culture is one of the external validation traps. It sure is, and that goes into, y'all don't let me get on my history box, because the Black Panthers, y'all, they were very anti-capitalism, very communist, pro everyone working.
Y'all, the shift has finally hit the fan. People are waking up and realizing that something is missing, something that is necessary, something that is needed. A little bit of almond joy, a little bit of nougat crunch, Hershey's bar, Reese's cup. They're realizing that they need chocolate. So the ones that have distanced themselves from us, they're waking up and realizing, hold on, that we've always been the magic, the black magic, y'all. What the helly? The veil is really lifting, y'all.
I miss black people. I know that sounds crazy, but I am from Georgia, and I used to go to HBCU, and the majority of my friends were black, and now I live in a small town in California, and I miss black people. There's not very many here, and I hate it. Like, don't get me wrong, I love my job, I love my friends here, but I miss black people. Don't come for me. I miss the culture, I miss the vibe, I miss the confidence, the jokes, the food. I miss black people. Something's missing in my life, and I've come to the conclusion that that's what it is.
I need some black joy. The fact that black joy even exists as a concept in the world is miraculous to me. Asians are no good at joy. We are good at working hard and being diligent and doing our best, but not joy. Colonizers too. Rich lives, no joy. We should never have hooked our stars to theirs. But black people, especially black Americans, are the best at joy. You've turned it into an art form. I know it came from terrible hardship that you've turned into soul and then into joy. And we, Chinese people, we just turn that hardship into more hard work. But I know you can't give it to us. We have to go out and earn it for ourselves, just like you did.
What do you mean by that? Where I'm from in Pennsylvania, it's mainly Dominicans and Puerto Ricans and the Spanish community, and bless their souls, are great people. They brought great culture and all that. But they always would mess up my beard. The first thing they would do is they would hack it off. I don't like my beard to be short, and they would always end up making it short on me, no matter what I told them. And it would always be a language barrier, too. And then, because of the way my beard grows, I would try to explain to them that you can't make it even, you have to make it look even because of the way that it grows, and they would never do that. And then today, I decided to give another barber a chance. After years, I came to a black-owned barber shop. And I'm just saying, I think I found a barber.
See, this is exactly what we tried to tell y'all for the past 400 years, but nobody didn't want to hear us. You know what I'm saying? What did y'all do? Y'all hid our history, y'all lied to us, y'all manipulated us, did some crazy things to us. For the past 400 years, we tried to tell y'all, we tried to show y'all how to live in harmony with nature, how to live in harmony with us. You know what I'm saying? You don't need to work in order to earn a living in this system. That's not how nature works. But y'all didn't want to listen to us. Then you guys took our spirituality, you turned it to religion, you made it evil so we wouldn't be able to use it and wake up out of this spell that majority of our people are locked in currently. But now the shift has literally hit the fan. Our brothers and our sisters are waking up, and now this is the collapse of this three-dimensional system because we don't want to play this game anymore. This is what actually brings me black joy. So yes, y'all, my brothers and sisters, the shift is here, but I want you to realize everywhere you go, I want you to know that you are someone's almond joy, okay? The shift is here. Everybody's going through it. They see it. They feel it. Let me know what you guys think about this video. Let's continue to get it. Peace in.
I'm here to tell you right now, we don't care. Let me tell you, we don't care.
Other races don't respect us. The other races, they don't respect us. People don't respect black people. They don't respect you. They don't listen to you. They barely take your words into consideration. They think you guys are a joke. They think black people are jokes. And can I tell you something? I think I get it. I know why they think you're jokes. Because you guys have this, you guys are just weird. Like, it's to be honest, it's not even weird. Weird is not the right word. It's just, it's like backwards. It's giving backwards. You guys are just like, it's giving backwards. Like, you're not up to date with how things are. You just don't get it anymore. You don't get it. And the way you behave, it's so ugly. The way a lot of black people behave is too ugly. It's so ugly the way you guys behave. It's ugly. It's honestly ugly.
It's about black women's joy. It's about black women experiencing sustained joy. The oppressor has to do anything to stop that, to disrupt that. They cannot have black women by themselves, or certainly not as a collective, experiencing the kind of intense joy and happiness that we feel when we listen to Beyonce. Do y'all remember when Adele at some award shows said that she knows how Beyonce makes her black friends feel? That's the problem. They will do anything to disrupt that. They will do anything to interrupt it. That's why the arguments are so dumb. They're not nuanced. They're not intellectual. They're not interesting. And I believe this to be true because they are so desperate and so quick to do it. We can't have a smooth 24 or 48 hours of enjoying this beautiful, culturally rich performance. We just can't have it because it makes us too happy. And so the important message, and what I want the 92% to know, is it's not a matter of, I wish it'd be so nice if we could take a break to step back. Now we have to do it because we know what their MO is, and that's to keep us sad, to keep us miserable. I think a lot of them were happy during the civil rights era. They don't mind us moaning and groaning and wailing and holding hands and singing. They have a real problem with us experience happiness, exultation, jubilance, laughter. I think it's as simple as a freaking Monsters Inc. movie. I remember Monsters Inc. The screams were very powerful. You could run a whole power company like off the screams. But the children's laughter, that sends things through the roof, right? And they're terrified of that. That's why I believe they're so desperate about it. So listen, among the 92%, I know we have apple polishers. I know there are those of us that are still recovering people pleasers, and we must have a job. We must have an assignment. The assignment is to experience joy. We gotta do it because they don't want us to do it. And now that I know that they are desperate for me, my sisters, my mom, my aunties, for all of us, all of our communities to not experience joy, I'm putting that number one on my priority list. Oh, they're not taking it away. No one's taking it away. And they are terrified of what the power of black women's collective joy will bring about. That's why they take one of our icons, one of our most beloved, because they know in so many different ways, she makes us walk with our shoulders back. She makes us love our curves. She makes us love our juicy mouthed countryness. It's because of Beyonce, I called myself a Mississippi Bama. And people used to wear me out calling me a Bama in college. If you'd ever told me that I experienced pride in calling myself that, that's because of Beyonce. That's because of what that is. She makes us hold our heads up too high, put our shoulders back, walk around like the queens that we are. That's the problem. So we understand the assignment now, right?
The reason why you become silent, there's one that always comes up, and that's fear. White people are afraid of black people. They are afraid of us. And it's a very interesting thing because black people know it. We know white people are afraid, but you have to start getting into the psychology. What are you afraid of? Why are you afraid? But it's an interesting dynamic. Now, also you see the difference in what racism is, do you not? Racism implies you have not just prejudice, but the power to do something with that prejudice. Now, I don't like you, not only that, but I'm going to control whether you can get, I may say I hate you. I hate white people. I hate them. It's not going to change you getting that, loan when you go to the bank. I can hate you all the way to the bank. Not going to change. Do you see the difference? That whereas white racism says, not only do I not like you, but I'm going to change the impact of where you can live. I'm going to determine with that racism where your powers are. You following me? And I'm talking about as a group, not an individual.
Well, I guess to put it simply, we don't. there's a lot of stereotypes out there. And there are some white people that do have hate. And it's usually because of a stereotype that they think all people are the same and they dislike that. But the theory that all white people are that way is also a stereotype. So we got to be careful about stereotypes, and we got to be careful about what we listen to and what we believe, because a lot of it's not true. Take care.
They're not really racist. They're jealous of us. They want to be Hispanic. They want to be Black. They want to be Asian. They have parties, and our culture is their theme. They love Taco Tuesday. They love our food. They love to have parties on Cinco de Mayo. We don't even celebrate that. Cinco de Mayo is not Independence Day. They go and get tans. They inject their lips. They go and get BBLs. They're jealous of us because they want to be us.
I'm in these non-toxic groups on Facebook where people live non-toxic lives and we're looking for non-toxic recommendations for the products that we use. And I made a Facebook post, this was a while back, and I was like, I'm looking for Black-owned, non-toxic hair product recommendations for my entire family who has various hair types. And my post was just met with so many white women who are like, that's racist. Why are you looking for Black owned? I'm telling you, this post got endless comments full of hatred. Like, it just kept coming and coming and coming. You support Black businesses to get rid of the racial wealth gap. Like, it's seriously the least that you can do. It's the easiest thing that you can do. So I was like talking with these people in the comments, and they're coming at me and they're attacking me. And it brought out a side of me that I'm not proud of. I called them what they were. And basically, my entire post got taken down. And so I didn't get any answers. But if this isn't a really good example of how white people don't want Black people to succeed, I don't know what is. And so if you have any good recommendations for non-toxic products in general that are Black owned, I would love for you to drop them in the comments, because I did get a couple of answers, but the post got taken down so suddenly that I couldn't write them down. And then some that we found that we ended up trying just didn't work out the way that we hoped. We have hair types ranging from 4A to C and hair like mine. But I'm always looking for Black-owned businesses that I can support in general, and products that are non-toxic are a big plus.
You just don't like Black people. Plain and motherfucking simple, you do not like Black people. It is very obvious. For hundreds of years, we've been the most hated. The most hated. But within that hatred comes the hypocrisy of loving our culture. You've made trillions off of our motherfucking culture. You know that. You've made money off our culture. Let's be real. 100%. You've made money off our culture. White musicians, all of them have made money off of Black fucking culture. All of rock, all of jazz, motherfuckers, all the shit we created from the oppression, which is fucked up in itself. The oppression and the fucking abuse and the rape and the putting down of us. We create blues, jazz, rock and roll, reggae, ska. We invent all of that shit. And to top it off, we invent all the modern shit that you all use. From the video game cartridge, Henry Lawson, We got the pacemaker, Otis Boynton. We have the late Dr. Bath, who created the laser eye surgery. We have Dr. Gladys, who's still alive, who's almost 80 years old, who created GPS. We have the guy who created the algorithm for Instagram, who's a 21-year-old Ghanaian kid. We've done all this shit. Then the internet was discovered by a Nigerian guy in the 80s. Like, we've done all of this innovation, even though we've been shit on and continue to be shit on every motherfucking day, right? Because nobody wants us to live anywhere. Nobody wants us to have this unless we're playing sports for them. Like I said, unless we're academically, right? No, I'm sorry, athletically or sexually satisfying motherfuckers. That's all Black people are good for. We're supposed to be at people's beck and fucking call when they want us to entertain them or make them some kind of money. But if we ask for being autonomously wealthy on our own, being autonomously having our own shit, all of a sudden everybody pitches a bitch. Everybody has a fucking hissy fit. People get mad when you don't want us in your neighborhood. You don't want us in your schools. You don't want us doing anything. But then when we say, hey, okay, that's cool, because Muhammad Ali said in the 60s, he said, hey, man, I think we should have our own state. I don't want to live amongst you motherfuckers. They were like, well, why not? You don't want us around. You're segregating everything. And then as soon as we want to go, white people start panicking. White people panic. But, you know, we don't want to be around you, so you can call us niggas, and we're tired of white cops shooting us. We're tired of this pissing contest that these white cops have because they're afraid of black dicks for some fucking reason, because most of this shit is black dick envy. We're tired of that shit. So what about this? Why don't we just give us what you owe us, and we can go on and do our own shit?